ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
And tonight, 2 school boards are holding emergency meetings in response to that tortilla throwing incident Saturday after a basketball game between Coronado High and Orange Glen. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. Kimberly Hunt has the night off. That incident has since gone viral and outraged many, and we have team coverage of both schools' responses. Let's start with our ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena in Coronado. Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. That board meeting has been happening since about 5 o'clock this afternoon. They are taking a break right now, but are expected to resume and are expected to take some sort of action regarding that incident last weekend. My colleague, ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco, is also live with the demands that some are making ahead of the decision.
Hi, Lindsay. The board is in closed session now, so you can see some community leaders have gathered outside. Some parents inside are saying the board should wait until police complete their investigation before making any decisions. Plenty of others say the video that's now been seen across the country speaks for itself.
I am deeply sorry. My son is deeply sorry.
Terry Clark was nearly in tears, apologizing on behalf of Coronado High's basketball team. Her son was not involved, but she says they were appalled at what happened.
We read the news report. We cried. It was deplorable. My son did not want to go to this school anymore.
Community leaders, students, and parents gathered outside Coronado High to condemn the tortilla tossing that happened Saturday night after Coronado won a basketball championship against Orange Glen, a predominantly Hispanic team from Escondido.
We want firings. We want Coronado High School to have to forfeit that game.
Many people are now calling for Coach J.D. LePerry to be fired. Witnesses say the Coronado coach cussed out the opposing coach after the game.
Coach LePerry did what I have never ever seen. He cussed out our coach, backing away like a coward, telling him get the F out of here.
Andres Rivera's son plays for Orange Glen.
He's backing away as he's cussing our team out. Just waiting for the tortillas to come. It was planned. It was not an accident.
Coach LePerry hasn't responded to our request for comment, but tweeted in part, "Unfortunately, a community member brought tortillas and distributed them, which was unacceptable and racist in nature. I do not condone this behavior." Some have said tortilla throwing is a way of celebrating, a tradition at some schools like Texas Tech. These community leaders say it is blatant racism.
We are sickened, and let me be clear, not surprised by the unsportsmanlike behavior of the individuals and the Coronado basketball team.
Back live outside the school board meeting, you can see on the sidewalks and people have been writing in chalk. It says no justice, no peace, and justice for Orange Glen. Again, public comment is over and the board is in closed session. They're expected to either not make a decision or make a decision regarding some sort of discipline or firing for the people who were involved. We have a crew inside and we'll bring you the latest tonight on 10 News at 11. Reporting live in Coronado, Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News. Lindsay, back to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Meanwhile, ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is up in the North County at Escondido, where there is also a special board meeting taking place there tonight. Anthony.
And Lindsay, it is a packed school board meeting right now. Many members of the public are speaking up. They want to weigh in on this tortilla throwing incident. It is public comment right now. But I did want to show you some video from earlier today here. Before the meeting, members of the community held a rally to condemn the incident. Some of the speakers were alumni of Orange Glen High School. Each of the speakers denouncing the incident, saying it is an act of bigotry and hate.
I have a sister who goes to Orange Glen, who plays sports. Hearing this broke my heart. It could have been her. No child should have to experience it. No child should have to experience racism.
And many say they want to see the people responsible be punished. Some say an apology isn't enough and they wanted to see Coronado stripped of its championship as a consequence. Now, the Escondido Union High School District Superintendent released a statement earlier today calling the incident ugly and unacceptable. The school board is meeting tonight. They are expected to discuss a resolution to denounce racism and racial discrimination. We're reporting live in Escondido tonight. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Anthony. And of course, before this incident, we saw something happen up in Poway about a year ago. Students there started sharing their experiences with racism on an Instagram account called Black in PUSD. Hundreds of stories were posted from students who say they experienced racism and prejudice while attending school. Many of the posts said they had been called racial slurs or had offensive racist comments made to them while attending PUSD schools, not just by students, but by teachers as well. At the time, Poway Unified pledged to address those issues. They acknowledged the problems and passed a resolution that would help remedy the culture there. Board members said at the time they would revise hiring practices and re-examine history textbooks and other course material. They also asked to hear from the community. We spoke to board member Dr. Darshana Patel about the significance of those conversations.
As a district, we did not explain, justify, defend ourselves in those conversations at all. We were there to listen. And then from there, we took those comments, those concerns, those suggestions, and we started formulating them into a plan. What is our plan going to be? How does our existing plan, what efforts we're putting in existing, how does that fit into where we need to go? Is it aligned? If it's not, maybe we need to walk away or modify it.
Dr. Patel says those plans continue to this day. The school district is also planning to hire an equity and inclusion director to further help that mission. We are reporting live in Coronado. Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News. Steve?
All right, thank you, Lindsay. And you can stay on top of this story as things unfold by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store. Turning now to coronavirus, the county reported just 56 new cases today, while our test positivity rate dipped back below 1%. There were once again no new deaths, so that total remains at just below 3,800. California guidelines now say that vaccinated employees can ditch their masks at work. But as our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala explains, employers still need to make sure the air is safe to breathe.
Cal OSHA approved a new set of emergency temporary standards on June 17th. One of the biggest takeaways, employees can lose their face masks if they're fully vaccinated. But there are a few things employers need to keep in mind when it comes to making sure there's adequate ventilation throughout the workplace. Cal OSHA says employers must review the interim guidance for ventilation, filtration, and air quality in indoor environments. Employers must also evaluate ventilation systems to maximize outdoor air and increase filtration efficiency, and evaluate the use of additional air cleaning systems.
We installed this air purifier machine last year in May.
Patricia Bronke is the owner of Opera Cafe and the Gas Lamp. She says before she knew how bad the pandemic would get, she had an air purifying system installed last year. Although coronavirus restrictions have mostly been lifted, she says she's still keeping cleaning protocols in place.
We have somebody going to the restaurant every early morning to clean.
Many businesses have spent thousands of dollars updating their HVAC and air filtration systems, and more will be required to do so.
This is basically telling employers that they ought to look at the California Department of Public Health guidance and the resources that are there for air filtration.
Legal analyst Dan Eaton says employers should be doing everything possible to keep their employees safe. If workers do not feel safe, they should speak up about their concerns directly to their employer. But if nothing changes,
at the end of the day, if employees are not satisfied, they can go to the website of the California Occupational Safety and Health Administration for further resources about ways to file a complaint.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
And in buildings where it's impossible to bring in outside air, Cal OSHA recommends filtering recirculated air with the highest efficiency possible for the ventilation system. All right, you can now get a COVID vaccine along with your food at McDonald's. The county is partnering with the fast food chain for pop-up clinics, whether you need your first or your second dose. People who get their vaccine at McDonald's, they can also get a coupon for one free menu item of their choice, along with being entered to win 2 Padres tickets. So lots of ways to win and get your vaccine. Scripps Health is facing a class action lawsuit following last month's ransomware attack that crippled the healthcare network. The suit claims that Scripps failed to protect the personal and medical information of its patients. The hackers stole data from almost 150,000 people. Scripps Health is also accused of negligence and invasion of privacy. It took several weeks for the company to get its network back online after the attack. At a close call in the South Bay today after a truck plowed into a home. This happened just before noon. The man driving that truck says a car cut him off and he lost control, crashing into that house on Thelius Street in Edgar Highlands, south of Chula Vista. Fortunately, the only person in the home was in another room at the time, not hurt. His wife says that's all that really matters.
He's okay. That's the more important.
That's very
Thank you.
generous.
I'm so glad that he's okay. Nothing happened, and I'm so blessed for everybody because nobody got hurt.
Yep, for now, the 6 people, the 2 cats and 2 dogs who live in that home, they will have to find another place to stay tonight.